So welcome everyone. So find a comfortable seat, sitting on a cushion or sitting on a chair, whatever is more comfortable for you. And you know you have permission, especially when you're in your own homes, but you have permission to shift around if you need to. If something's not comfortable, if it's distracting your mind, then take care of your body. Yeah. I'd like to start this evening again with the prayer before practice from Sean Corn. It's definitely a favorite of mine. So you might want to close your eyes and just get your shoulders into your back and just listen to the words and the concepts. Let us set our intentions today for our practice together. We pray for the highest and greatest good to be experienced here today for the benefit of all who are present in the room. May this practice be an opportunity for awakening, feeling, and remembering to connect to our body, mind, and spirit with kindness, compassion, and ahimsa. May our resistance be transformed into surrender, our judgments into compassion and understanding, and our fear into faith. May faith carry us forward on our path. May this practice be blessed as we connect deeply and find moments of peace. Amen. So as you all likely know, today is Earth Day, an auspicious day. And not only is it Earth Day, it's the 50th anniversary. It was started in 1970, and this is sort of the start of the modern environmental movement. Typically, it's celebrated with community activities like tree planting, cleanups, and going to the park kind of thing. So that's not the case in 2020. But we can still honor our planet. We can still celebrate it and connect to it deeply and acknowledge it. So that's what our focus is going to be on today in our meditations. And you know, for thousands of years, yogis and meditators have been honoring the earth with their rituals and practices and meditations. And the planet really needs all that good energy, especially right now. So that's what we're going to try to do today, is connect with our planet. So we're going to be practicing several different visualizations, meditations, and breathing practices that'll anchor us to the Earth's energy, and to our awareness of the earth and all the creatures that live on it. So the first one of my faves, is a visualization. And so I'd like you to think about some place on Earth that is in nature, that is a tremendously special memory for you. Some place where you felt really connected in a very special place. So this could be a forest, a meadow, a mountain, a valley, a river, the ocean. It could be a place with a cabin in the woods. Some place that is in your history and your memories that is rich and fond to you. So you have to pick one. And then maybe close your eyes with this so that you can be in your internal landscape. Imagine if you were describing this to a good friend or writing your memoirs. What would you say? How would you describe it? Use all the senses. So sight, light, color, movement. Your smell, anything you smell, any sounds you hear, anything you touch or taste. And who might have been there with you in that very special place in nature? Focus on your breathing as you continue to expand this story of this very special place in your heart. So just drawing the breath deeply in and releasing fully out, finding that natural rhythm of the breath, letting the breath help you feel like you're there. You can keep coming back to the beginning of the story, maybe exploring it from different angles, how you got there, how you felt when you were there. Maybe even feeling some of those feelings right now. Just stay here honoring this memory of this special place on earth, just for maybe another minute or so. And then just bring yourself back and keep that memory in the back of your mind and in your heart. I was in my grandmother's vegetable garden on a hot summer day. So let's help our minds to become calmer now by getting a little bit into our bodies. So come on onto your mat. We'll do a little grounding practice on the mat. I'm just starting on your hands and knees. And place your hands on the mat right under your shoulders and take a look at your hands. And make the fingers as wide as you can and curl the fingertips slightly into the mat. And just feel the connection of your hands, the energy from your hands to the earth's energy. The earth's energy is very slow moving and gritty, nurturing, solid. And just feel all of that beneath your hands. And then begin to move your body by coming into cat pose. So letting the head come down and rounding your back and pushing everything in the hands into the mat. So feeling the fingertips, the base of the fingers, the heel of your hands. And then relax it and just come back into neutral. And do that again. Let's breathe out and round up into cat. Breathe in and come back to neutral. Now, just turn your hands on a 45-degree angle towards the middle of the mat. So heels of the hands are closer to the edge of the mat than the fingers are. And we'll sink down into the opposite shape, cow pose. So letting the ribs spread out towards the mat, squeezing the shoulder blades into your back, maybe looking forward with your eyes. So really feeling the strength of your back. And then inhale and come back to neutral. Lengthening your neck. And one more time, coming down into cow, squeezing your back. And inhale to neutral. And then put that together. So come into cat again, breathe out. Really stretch out your ribs, your back. Inhale to neutral. Exhale, sinking down into cow. Inhale to neutral. Go one more time, exhaling up into cat. Inhale to neutral. And exhaling down into cow. And back up to neutral. Let's do that one more time. Someone else has just joined the call, so I'll invite them in. And lock the meeting. Okay, so back up into neutral, and we're going to add just one more movement pattern to this little sequence coined by Dr. Stuart McGill, who is a back specialist, and he calls this flossing the spine. So it's the same pattern that we were doing, but just moving the hips back. So if this is new to you, maybe watch me on the first one. So I'm going to round up into cat, stay in cat, bring your hips back to your heels, and then bend your elbows and sink deeply forward and slide up into cow. So let's inhale into cat, Bring the hips back to the heels. And then bend your elbows and shift forward, kind of slithering along the ground and coming up into cow. So inhaling, sliding back again. And so you feel this in the muscles, in the soft tissue. It's a nice stretch. Let's do one more time. But he also describes that you're flossing or getting some movement in the nerves inside your spine. And they like to move too. So back up in neutral, we'll take the right hand and scoop underneath the left arm, thread the needle. So looking to the left and reaching underneath you with your right hand, reaching to the left. On your inhale, come on back out, and we'll slowly turn to the right, whatever amount. If you've got a shoulder issue, keep your hand at your shoulder, but otherwise turning the hips, the waist, the ribs. And then exhale and scoop back under. Inhale and open it back up. Still feeling that connection to the earth with your left hand. And one more time, exhaling under. Inhale and opening back up to the sky. And bring your right hand back to the mat and pause. And it always makes me smile when I come out of needle. One hand is very white and the other is very red. The weight-bearing hand has got lots of blood supply. Okay, so let's go the other way. So left hand is going to slide underneath the right arm. Just reach out on the floor as far as you can. Big twist for the mid-back. And then inhale, and again, carefully on the first one, lifting up, turning everything, so not just the shoulder. Exhale and scoop under. Inhale, opening up to the sky. And one more time, exhaling under. And inhale and open that back up. And then bring your hands back down to the mat. And we'll just pause again, just reset. Let's do one more sequence. We're going to take the hands as far ahead as you can, but still have that sense of all those connections, the tips of the fingers, base of the fingers, heels of the hands. And then pull the hips back, lengthening back into puppy pose. So the head might get between the arms, it might not. That's okay. Good. And then on your inhale, just lift up and come out of that intense stretch. And again, exhale and pull the hips back. And inhale and lift back up. Do one more time, just really loosening up the back here. Breaking the tension of the day. And then just walk your hands a little closer to you, curl your toes under, lift your hips up, and walk your feet ahead. And we'll come back up to standing up. Okay, so we're all going to stand up now. And we're going to practice a walking meditation today. I don't know if I should tell this story. One of my positive psychology teachers told the story when he first tried to learn to meditate, and he told his wife he was going to do a silent day meditation, and she didn't believe him. Anyways, he went. The first half hour they sat breathing. The second half hour they walked. The next half hour they sat breathing. The next half hour they walked. At the break, he left. And he said he had to leave because he was trying to hold back the laughter. All he could think about with the walking meditation was Monty Python's Department of Funny Walks. Does that ring a bell with anyone? That's not what we're going to do tonight. We're not doing that crazy stuff, but you know, meditation is wonderful. It's a serious and important tool, but it's also something that you can keep your sense of humor with. Okay. So whenever we walk, we could practice meditation, but most times we're just busy getting from A to B, and we're not aware of the process, right? We're just from here to here. So in our walking meditation, we can be aware of that process. And so just standing for a moment with your feet about shoulder width apart, lift your toes up, lift them up, and then plant the toes down. And just as when we had our hands on the mat, feel the toes pushing into the mat and feel the density of the earth or the floor beneath you. Okay, lift the toes again. Maybe lift the balls of the feet up one at a time. And then plant them back down. And then lift up on the ball of one foot, so you're lifting your heel up. Roll back down through each part of your foot. And then pick up the other heel. And come down onto the ball of the foot, the side of the arch, and the heel. Do that one more time on each side. So our feet and our ankles apparently give our brain about 75% of the information it needs to figure out proprioception, how to stay upright. Coming from the feet, coming from the ground, our connection to the earth. Okay, so we're going to walk on a path, not a circle. Because when we walk on a path, I'm going to walk from one end of my mat to the other, nice and slow. There's a little pause where you have to turn around, and that's where you can check in if your mind is still staying with your practice or if your mind is somewhere else. All right. And how this goes is you're going to breathe in as you lift one foot and breathe out as you plant it. So I'm going to breathe in, lift my right knee, and breathe out and plant the foot. And then breathe in as I lift my left knee. And breathe out as I plant the foot. And try to plant the foot one piece at a time. So starting on the back of the heel, rolling through the foot. Feel each toe connect. And it's very, very slow process. And when you get to the end of your mat, just turn around, noticing how the feet help you do that. And so coordinating the breath with the movement, breathing in as you lift one leg, breathing out as you plant that foot down. And the point is that we're not really going from A to B. We are enjoying the process, the journey. We're not going anywhere. Just going to do this for a couple more minutes, and I'll stay quiet. So let's keep being so mindfully aware of the act of walking, noticing how the upper body kind of cross-laterally balances us. And let's use a gatha from Thich Nhat Hanh. So this is a word or phrase that you connect to each part of the breath or the movement. And the one I'd like to suggest we use tonight is on the inhale, you think, I am here. And on the exhale, you think, in the now. So I am here in the now. And wherever you are on your mat, just take a pause. Get both feet underneath your hips. Maybe shift your weight a little more so the toes are Grabbing the mat, shift the weight more into the heels. Maybe sway the hips a little left and right. Just really feeling the connection of your feet. And so we'll release that and come and sit back down. So either sitting on a chair or a pillow, whatever you have. So walking meditations are even better outside because there's so much more to take in, especially the sense of your feet. Even if you have shoes on, you can still be that methodical and slow, but really feeling that connection to the earth. Maybe in the backyard. Okay, so if you do have a plant, get that in your sight line right now. If you don't have a plant, that's okay. But just think of a plant that would appeal to you. It could be a tree, it could be a vine, it could be a flower. And just make any tiny adjustment to feeling comfortable in your body. So slide the shoulder blades back and pull the chin in slightly to lengthen the neck. And just become aware of your breathing again. So conscious breath, mindful conscious breath, drawing the air deeply in through the nose and sighing it out through the mouth. Just being really present with your breath, this action that keeps us alive, something like, I don't know, 10 or 15,000 breaths a day. And do we think about it at all? Probably not. It's just this miracle in our bodies. And maybe think about the fact that you're inhaling the oxygen that the plants supply, that the planet supplies. And then the planet and the plants are inhaling the carbon dioxide that we exhale. So there's this exchange going on between us and our planet. Inhaling oxygen that the planet creates for us. And as we exhale our carbon dioxide, the planet takes it in and fixes it. And maybe also think about the fact that the air that we breathe has been cycled on this planet for a couple of billion years. You're inhaling and exhaling the exact same atmosphere that's always been here. Let's keep building on this and take the palms of the hands. So we know our hands have heat and healing energy. So I'm going to put one hand on my belly and one hand on my chest. Okay, it doesn't matter which hand goes where, although the right hand feels better on my chest. Probably because I'm right-handed. So you're sitting in a nice tall posture, nice and aligned. And this is called a Durga breath or Durga pranayama. And how it goes, when you breathe in, we want the belly to expand first, then the chest, then fill it right up to the collarbones. And then go the opposite order when you breathe out. So collarbones relax, chest coils back in, and the belly comes back in. So inhale, belly, chest, collarbones. Exhale, collarbones, chest, and belly. Keep going. See how much movement you can create, how much sensation. The belly can move easily, the chest fairly easily. Collarbones, can they move? A little bit. It's more about directing your awareness there as well as the movement. As we breathe this way, being very mindful and aware, maybe think about that special place on earth, that place in nature that called you earlier. And imagine yourself standing there or being there and breathing like this. Couple more rounds. And then we'll release that. Just let your hands rest where they'd like to go, maybe on your knees or in your lap. Still being aware of the breath, but not managing it. So just noticing the breath. And then get that plant right in your sight line. And if you have a blanket handy, let's drape ourselves with the blanket. Scarf, towel, anything. And so we're going to look at our plant. And there's a phrase in yoga, Sanskrit word called drishti, which is when you look at something, you're seeing it, but you're actually looking past it. So it's a focal point that you kind of intentionally blur. Okay, so let your plant be that drishti. You're looking at the plant, even if you're just imagining a plant, same thing. And looking at the color and the texture, marveling at the vibrancy of this plant that grows out of dirt. Each plant so unique. And so we're working with a single point meditation here, choosing the plant. You can still be aware of your breathing. If you're able to look past your plant, you might see an aura or a glow around it. You might sense its vibrancy, its energy. When we're able to get our brain to stay at a single focal point for any period of time, it allows our brain to shift out of beta brainwave state, which is associated with thinking and being alert. The longer we stay with this single point focus, we can begin to move into alpha brainwave state. which corresponds to a more relaxed and creative state of mind. The longer we settle in the alpha brainwave state, we can begin to move towards theta brainwaves, which are associated with meditation, intuition, and the unconscious. So this might work for a couple of breaths, and then you find yourself back with your monkey mind. It's okay. Start the process again. It'll be a little longer, a little more successful each time. Just one more minute here. Focusing on our plant, seeing it and seeing past it. Take some deeper breaths in and out now, still looking at your plant, still sensing it. Some of you may have been drawn to bring your hands to the plant. And take a deep breath in, take your gaze away from the plant, open your eyes. Notice the state of your mind. Okay. So thinking about the Earth's energy, we're going to take the last 10 minutes or so to really sense two forces of the Earth, gravity and atmospheric pressure. Just breaking this down into science. So come on over to your mat and lay down on your back. And if you have a pillow, maybe tuck the pillow under the back of your knees. And bring your blanket along too, so you can cover yourself. And just lay right down on your back. I can't do that with a mic there. So just settle on your mat. Make any little adjustment, maybe lift the hips and bring a little more ease into the low back. Lift your chest and tuck the shoulder blades in under your back. And just take a little scan of all the back parts of your body that are touching the mat or the bolster, the floor, the earth. So the back of your head, your upper back and shoulders, back of your hips, maybe the back of your legs resting on the pillow or the bolster, and the back of the heels, whichever part of your arms and hands are resting on the floor. Just being gently aware, like an electrical current, of all these back parts of your body. And just letting them be heavy. And just being aware of gravity, force of nature, that holds us to this planet. It's not an accident. We belong here. And so again, the earth's energy beneath us, very stable and steady and nurturing, very slow vibration, very soothing. And all those back parts just sinking in. So keep allowing the back to be heavy. And then we'll bring awareness to the rest of the body that's not touching the mat. So sensing your entire skull and your face, down the front of your body, across the collarbones, down the arms, down over your torso, the front of the hips, the front of your legs, your knees, your shins, and your feet. And all these parts are also being held by a force of nature, atmospheric pressure. It's not as dense as gravity, but nonetheless, it is holding us, supporting us, giving us lots of freedom to move, but still right there surrounding us. Return to your breath now, just that easy ebb and flow of your breath. And as you inhale, feel all the front parts of the body just being very light and open and airy and supported. And as you exhale, feel the back of the body being very dense and secure, kind of sinking down. So inhaling, opening into the front, almost like you're lifting up. And exhaling, allowing the back to sink into the mat. Maybe lifting up on the inhale, almost like you're floating. And then sinking safely down on the exhale. Let's keep coming back to those sensations as you follow your breath. Your breath may want to slow right down here. Still a sense of breathing fully in and fully out. Bring your awareness gently back, not moving, but just noticing. Having a sense of love and peace, contentment in the moment. A sense that everything is being supported by the earth. And it's going to sort itself out. It's going to be all right. Begin to take some deeper breaths in and out now, just bringing more movement with the breath. Start to wiggle your fingers, your toes. Connect into your arms and your legs. And when you're ready, come into any big stretch that's just calling you right now. Maybe reaching the arms wide or overhead. Stretching as you breathe in and releasing as you breathe out. like the best good morning stretch ever. And next time you breathe out, we'll draw the knees in, hug your knees, rock a little bit on your back. Still feeling that lovely connection to the earth. Maybe roll to one side and stay on your side for a couple of breaths. Make your way up to sitting up again. Just slowly bringing yourself back to the present. Put your hands on your heart, right hand first, left hand second. And just one more moment here, breathing and appreciating our beautiful earth, all the bounty it has for us, all the beings on the earth, the rocks inside the earth, the water. And maybe making a commitment to a small or a big change in how we take care of the earth, whatever form that takes for you. Thank you for joining me for this meditation sit tonight. I hope you keep the bubble around you for as long as you can. Namaste.